guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's staying safe out there. We're over here in Smoky, New Mexico, up in Arizona. I figured today we would talk about my experiences going through the trucking school I went to, and which one it was, how much it cost, overall experiences. So, obviously I work for night. Well, I mean, not obviously, but I work for night. And, let's just say they treat me good. They have their own school. But being from Wyoming, I was given two choices. I can go down to Phoenix, and I would have to get my own hotel room, but they pay you amount per week, like $500 a week, while in school, to cover your hotel and your own travel expenses. Or I can go to Salt Lake, and they would cover everything. And I chose Salt Lake for that reason, also because small area. I didn't really want to learn how to drive truck, how nerve-wracking that is, and then had to learn how to drive in traffic in city, in Phoenix. And also, this is also back in January at the time. So I figured I'd rather just deal with the cold, being from Wyoming. Only had to do a once snow day. I actually took my test on icy lot, so I'm back and they were like asking me like 20 times, "Are you sure you want to do this? Like, 'cause, if you fail, you're only given one more chance to pass." And I was very confident at that point. I was passing, and I easily passed. But so I went to come on, if I went to Phoenix, it's an actual night school, but Salt Lake, you go to Swift. Swift is like the Swift Yard has their school there, and it's like 1 block away from the night, so they just send you there. Which, let's see, I think, if I remember right, it costs like $3,800 over a course of a year. They take it out, then you get it back. You get all it back, and stay a year. But the first week, by far the most boring week. So you got to spend 200 hours at school, 200 hours over a course of 4 weeks. 50 hours of that has to be in the classroom, and by the way they do it, because I slam through it, and it's really boring stuff. Like most of it, you're already gonna cover before you get there. You gotta have your permit before you get there, and most of it you'll know just by getting your permit. But they go through it. The stuff they have to talk about within 3 days. Their last 2 days, you're bored out of your mind. You're just bored. It's like 7 days. It's like your first week, like they go through the first 3 or 4 days, and then by the last, the other half of the week, the teacher's bored, you're bored. It's just repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. Which, alright. By week 2, you're moving out into, to the range. First 3 days, to really focus on pre-trip and the very basic stuff. Mostly pre-trip. Getting understanding what you're looking at in the truck, what each thing does. Then you start straight line backing, which that's by far the easiest thing. So that only takes maybe, depending on it, if everybody can quickly figure it out. My class did. Okay, so Salt Lake also. When I went there, they generally have smaller classes. Like they say no more than 5 or 6. They always try to keep it below 5 or 6. But they're trying to get them smaller. But my class had 3 students, and we all shared the same instructor. But we all got plenty of time. All of us passed. We all just took turns. But so my class picked it up pretty quickly, the straight line back. So we moved on to offsetting within 2 hours. So we moved to offsetting. I picked that up the quickest. I had that down. To be fair, I did a little bit of truck driving before with the Swift, so a whole truck learning with the Swift school. So pre-trip I had that memorized. So trip, I didn't even study on it, and I passed it, like, missing, like, 6 things. And I was just, like, the very basic stuff. Like, I missed the wipers. Like, I missed the stuff, and then I even clicked the wipers, and I was like, yeah, they work. I just didn't say it out loud, you know? Stuff like that. It was, like, very stupid, basic stuff like this. No, so we go with the offsetting. And the way they teach you offset here, because there's no standard, so the way they do it at the Salt Lake Yard is landing gear to landing gear, which they have you turn landing gear. They have you turn your tractor angle to the landing gear, and then you swap it to the other side. Just to give you an understand, I like that way better. It helps you understand what your trailer is doing compared to what the tractor's doing. Well, you know, if you turn this way, what the trailer's gonna do. As you start turning out of it, what the trailer's gonna do. But the way, like, there's a few other places teach you is based on time. Like, you turn the wheel all the way to one side and you count, and that's just a bad way. Like that I don't think that should be taught at all. That's just horrible. It's just setting people up to fail. So offset is like all the second week. You're focused pretty much on pre-trip and offset. Your second week out on the range. By your third week, we were a little bit behind because we were down an instructor. So, and I guess they always had to have an instructor on the range. And like they try to alternate. So like if like let's say there's multiple classes going on, there usually is multiple classes. They overlap a teeny bit, like a couple weeks. So if one class is out doing road driving, your class is going to be out, you know, on the range. So if being down an instructor, it kind of like hurt a little bit, but it, you know, none of us failed, so that's all that matters. But so third week we were supposed to be already driving like in the second week. So this camera mount, dude, I hate this camera mount. Obviously a pass, I'm driving truck, but so third week we're supposed to be out driving a little bit, getting some hours in if you need like hours to on the road. First they start first couple of days they have you going through like they take you very outskirts of town, on Salt Lake onto the back road, Furnace Road. Since the trucks are not automatic, they take you out there though originally to teach you how to shift up and down, you know, how to standstill. They do teach you how to manual shift them. They put it like they have you put the auto in manual mode and teach you how to use that. Which yeah, it's so easy. Okay, you still gotta bring the RPMs down to shift and upshift. So it's like driving. It's manual mode. It definitely is manual. Even the auto is it's still technically a manual. It's just doing the auto. It's just auto clutching for you. So it's not like an auto car. So if you have no idea what an auto truck is, it is not like your car. You'll still feel it shifting gears. The auto just means it is auto clutching in and out for you. You'll feel it. Okay, so back to the days. So you're out there on the Furnace Road, like the probably 2 days. I mean, they're not gonna spend a lot of time out there. God damn, fuck these roads. Okay, stay there, camera. But then you go out on the interstate, and they keep in the edge of town, and they start working their way in, which I think is a good way to do it. Salt Lake can be a little bit busy as hell, especially when they try to get you back to the yard around 5 o'clock. And then by like 4th or 5th day in, you pretty much stop doing the interstate because that's like the easiest thing. And you start doing non-stop driving in towns, like in the middle of town, towards downtown, through actual like congestion, which is not fun at 5 o'clock. Not in Salt Lake. And they pretty much always have you in the middle lane. They want you getting used to the middle lane, watching both mirrors that way. And that's one way to force you to watch your mirrors, is keep you in the middle lane. My instructor was great though. The instructor we had was great. I think he was too nonchalant about things. He was definitely, you can tell he's done this for too long, and he's just like, I've done this every day for years and I no longer want to do it. But it's like, it's great money, and as long as nobody fucks up too bad, I'll just keep doing it. But okay, so I'm trying to see all these holes and stuff, so because the camera keeps tilting. This is why I no longer do this mount. I no longer use the mount like that. But I have no other choice, so I figured it's better to look at the windshield and driving than to sit here and look at my face. Nobody wants to see this. Alright, so then you go back, you start mixing it. Now, if everybody feels comfortable enough, like the instructors will give you a little bit of your choice. If you're comfortable and confident enough in a certain area, they'll ask you, what do you guys want to do for today? Driving is the easiest part. Because as long as you don't eat a curb or cut somebody off, and you're pretty much gonna instantly pass driving. Like, it's the easiest part. So we really wanted to focus on, because also Salt Lake requires parallel parking. Me being from Wyoming, never really had a parallel park ever in my life, so I had to learn how to do it on 73 feet. And ironically, the blind side, when you're parallel parking from the passenger side, it's the easiest for some reason. It's the easiest because once you put the trailer in there, you have full sight of what you're doing. Like, once you start coming out, you got full sight. So blind side is actually the driver's side. Like when you're lined up the parallel park from the driver's side, that's actually the true blind side, because you have a larger gap where you have no idea what you can't see. The larger gap you can't see. Okay, so parallel park in 90. My class focused mostly on the parallel parking, because that was definitely giving us most of its issues. Like, I was from Wyoming, the other guy was from Denver. He chose not to go to the Denver area, and then the other guy was from the Salt Lake area. Like, he lived like 20 minutes outside Salt Lake. But so we all agreed that parallel parking was the 90 every now and then. We picked up the 90 pretty well, pretty. I mean, I only backed up the 90 like 7 times, and I was like, okay, anybody else can get in. I didn't fuck up with the 90 at all. And they use the same tactic on the 90. They tell you landing gear to landing gear, parallel parking, landing gear to landing gear. And eventually you'll start understanding what you see. Even while you're at the school, you'll start understanding what the trailer's doing. God, this camera mount is ridiculous. But you'll start understanding as you start doing it more and more and more, because it's all repetition. You're just pounding it into your head based off muscle memory. You'll understand, and eventually you'll stop going all the way to landing gear, or start making adjustments based on what because it's not going to be perfect every time. So if you come up short on one side, you got to be able, you'll start recognizing that in the school why you're coming up short. But no, I mean, okay, so by the 4th week, you're pretty much just you're just mixing the driving and whatever you're hurting on, because your 4th week, you're pretty much gonna start testing out. So your late 3rd week into the 4th week, whatever you're hurting on, your weaknesses, you'll start focusing on that. Usually, in my case, the whole class had the same weaknesses, which I'm willing to bet that's gonna be the case for everybody. And even the teachers will let the students help each other out too. So it's like if like the example, I picked up the offset pretty instantly, and I put it in pretty much every single time. So once I knew I had no issues and I could always correct what I did wrong, and compensate for the trailer pulling to the right, dogtailing. I kept letting the other two have more and more turns, so they'll let you do that and they won't say anything. As long as it's all up to you. They were very relaxed there. There were no issues. They didn't put pressure on you. They didn't insult you. Very laid back. And so I mean, they're gonna let you decide your pace, and they're gonna work with you on your pace, which is great. The only downside I had about it being a night out was you had to get up like 6 o'clock in the morning and be at the school, at the yard by 7 a.m. So you're being pretty much, the shuttle's picking you up like 6:30 a.m. and then you're getting back at the hotel like 5:30. And yeah, so I was a little rough. And I got back at the hotel and I was like, I'm exhausted. Even though I hadn't even been up for 11 hours, you know, but I'm just drained. But no, I mean, would I recommend the school? If the same instructors are there for when you guys go there, yes. I had Scott was the classroom teacher, great guy, and oh god, why can't I remember my teacher on the field, the range? I hate edges. I'm trying to say on that, so I don't drag side to side. I don't remember my teacher, my instructor for the range. God, Linda tested me out. She's a funny woman. Because before we were supposed to test out, and ice storm came through, and I spent my whole morning. I was the first one supposed to test out. I spent my whole morning. Originally, they were going to cancel them and reschedule for the next day, and I was like, no. I've already been here for a month. I am testing. God, this is rough. So I spent like 3 hours plowing, like actually shoveling the range because the maintenance guys didn't plow. Shoveling my parking spots, my backing spots, so I could actually back and at least see the lines. God, this road, dude. Let's get past this. Okay, but obviously I passed, and I'm driving truck. Been driving for 8 months now. Rookie mistakes have been made. First month solo. Trainers, I got lucky with my trainers. Not everybody's gonna get lucky, so. But definitely, you guys want to go to CDL. Salt Lake Yard is definitely a good one. But that's it for this video. You guys have a nice, good day. Catch you guys out there. And hopefully for you guys that want to get into the field, this video's helped you. So you guys have a good day and stay safe out there.